right here, north of Arlington, northwest of Kennard, right there. You've got toward, here's our radar, and away, right next to each other. Let's see what happens from the sweep update. Same thing for Valley. We're watching that same sort of idea. Pretty tight right here, toward away. That's in very western Washington County. As you look up here, this is Highway 31. That kind of comes back toward Kennard and Blair. And I believe this is Highway 30, goes through Arlington to Kennard and also up to Blair. So that area just near, but probably just barely northwest of Blair. All right, let's get back down in here to the tornado warning. This doesn't look super impressive from this scan right in here, but near Valley, tornado warning. Any updates on that?
No, we've seen no updates so far.
Okay. Wait for the sweep to go by. This is the toward that we're seeing in toward Omaha and possible little bit of a way. So just on the south edge of Valley, kind of between Valley and Waterloo. And as you look at that, here's Waterloo. There's 275. This is the strongest inbound, so that would be the spot. So just barely south of Valley where you've got that possible area of rotation. And then this still looks pretty good here, just northwest of Kennard. Inbound velocity, outbound velocity right here. This is, and again, Blair. You know, Blair's, you know, the city is right here, but everything in this southern part of Washington County pretty much is coded as Blair. So that whole area, but really it's kind of about the northwest part of the city of Blair that we're tracking. This would be the couplet right here. Get back to the Skycam. So this is our view. Thanks for panning that for me. I want to, if we could, pan that, widen out and then pan a little more to the northwest. So this is to the west-southwest, and we're watching that base because that's out toward Valley. Keep going because I'm kind of checking. There's heavy rain, and then this is north. So stop right here. And we're trying to look at the base of the cloud up here. This is the cloud that's up in Washington County. Can't really see anything from that vantage point, which is kind of getting a little bit away from us. So that is looking north-northwest, and you see the radar scan there. That's where you have the red and green toward each other, northwest of Kennard. We're looking at the base of the cloud in this direction right here. So good, but bad in a way because it's far enough away. It's hard for us to see if there's any kind of funnel there. However, if you are in Kennard, it's just barely north of you. If you're in Blair, most likely going to leave. You know, here's Blair. Here's our area of rotation, and it's sort of going like this. There you go. So toward, away, not immediately next to each other, but right here. There's Kennard. This again, Highway 30 comes up, and this is tracking northwest of that, and we'll also pass just northwest, or at least the northwest edge of the city of Blair. This is kind of as you come up into Blair toward Main Street. Highway 75 comes south. The bulk of the population of Blair is right there, and this is going to pass sort of on the northwest edge of that.
Bill, we got a new severe thunderstorm warning for Cass, Douglas, and Sarpy counties in Nebraska.
Okay.
They're seeing an 1.25 inch size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and it is out till 2 p.m.
Very good. You know, I'm looking in these other areas here where we had the rotation. Yeah, if that would be a good one to check too. Is that Katie? Give us the camera from Fairfield. So this is our view from out at about Highway 133 and 680, so Blair High Road, looking off to the west-northwest. So on this view, we're just barely to the, you know, there's 133, so sort of looking out to the northwest and into the direction of southern Washington County. See the dark clouds, and again, the storm is sort of up into Blair. A little update looks like on that warning track for Douglas County now. Perfect. So on this camera, let's put that up full behind me if we could, and I'll switch back. But you see the rain shield coming down here. And we're looking out to the west and northwest here because as you're looking at 192nd Street and then out to the northwest, there's the water tower, 204th and Maple. See the rain coming on down here. Switch back over. I'm going to take that real quick. So we're looking at the rain shaft that's coming on down there. And then is there any lowered cloud base back out to the west of Elkhorn? So any of this stuff right here is what we're watching for. I'm just going to switch back over to the radar display here behind me so I can manipulate that too.
Bill, we did have a viewer email us in and say we have grape-sized hail in the Elkhorn skyline area.
Very good, Waverly, thanks. Yeah, so, that's this cell, kind of that we're tracking. So we had earlier that little cell that tracked to the north, and now this one, which is again, just to the west and northwest of Elkhorn, where if there's a spin up that's going to occur, can we pan that a little more to the north here? You see the radar showing us Elk City there. That's sort of where the best rotation is showing up. And that's kind of this stuff right through here. So we're looking at, right through here. Let's just keep on focusing on this area right here. You see that bright green toward, that's this right here. So the base of this cloud is what we're watching for the possible rotation to occur. And, we're looking right up at, so if you're in Elk City, you're going to be underneath that. And you see the lowered cloud bases right through here. That's what we're looking for any kind of this sort of spin up. That lowered cloud base says we've got, inflow feeding into this same location. So optimistic, maybe this is just going to be the radar showing the really strong inflow right through here, but that's what we're looking at this direction, from our camera. Let's try panning a little farther to the north. I want to get that water tower back in the view if we could. This is about straight west. So yeah, we're going to keep going a little bit more. A little bit more. Okay, stop there. So it's this whole cloud base all the way back down to the west. So not particularly ominous there. This is what happened. I'm going to zoom back out on the radar there. And the grape-sized hail was actually from what we had that moved on through that area as well. So 2 tornado warnings right now, Washington County and then also Douglas County. And it's just radar indicated where we have this areas that look like they're turning. Still looks like it in this area here. And that camera, again, is looking out to the northwest from the Methodist Women's Hospital location here. I've taken control of that camera here so I can pan. Base of the cloud, base of the cloud. There's the most lowered looking clouds, but right now that's just scud clouds. These look mean, but this is just moisture, sort of coming up under the base of the thunderstorm there, and we're not seeing any kind of strong rotation. That is sort of starting to advance in toward the camera here as we're going to cool off pretty dramatically. Luke, what's our current temperature?
Let me give that a look.
Because Eppley Airfield is on the warm side of this. So 192nd, pardon me, and Dodge. And you can see that coming in this way here now. So we've got the cooler air starting to work in from that spot.
So our current temperature is 73 degrees, but Lincoln, where these storms have kind of moved through Lancaster County, they've dropped into the 60s, and the further west you go from there, you're into the 50s. But the environment the storms are heading into, the Nebraska City area, closer to Shenandoah, even Maryville's in the 80s, but
Yeah.
a lot of western Iowa is sitting in the mid 70s right now. So it's probably a lot of fuel once these storms continue to move east.
Certainly. No question about it, Luke. I mean, this is getting going right now over the Omaha Metro, and it's going to intensify as it moves eastward. But at the moment, just looking at the low clouds underneath the thunderstorm and that strongest area of rotation on this thunderstorm is sort of in this direction to the north-northwest from Methodist Women's Hospital, right up here. So just west of Bennington. And again, you're looking at the base of the clouds. That is right in the middle of the polygon that we're showing you. That is kind of west of Bennington. And that's right here. So this is starting to edge into the rest of Omaha. So this is better for Elkhorn. We're going to get some wind with that. But that doesn't look like there's a funnel or a tornado at the moment. So it's the base of these clouds that are coming in. So you're looking at, this sort of inflow and then spinning around the other side of the north edge, kind of that area west of Bennington and also to the just southeast of Washington, sort of kinked up. Looks like they maybe dropped the warning up in Washington County, Luke.
Yeah, I believe they did.
Okay. All right. So Bennington and just west of Bennington. So that's this storm right about over you where there is the rotation. The warning goes until 1:15. Do they have an update on if they're going to keep it? Oh, that still looks good on the radar here. Let me get back over here.
They have not mentioned anything with that storm.
All right. Well, it's, starting to advance eastward here where it's kind of blowing in. Let me switch cameras to, let's go with the Charles Schwab camera. Nice high spot there. Of course, we're looking here at the Papio. But if I zoom this out to the northwest and look at the base of these clouds here, that's the direction we're looking out toward Elkhorn. And from here to the north and west toward Bennington. So just a little bit out of the camera range right there. Just the heavy amount of water that's coming on down the river. I'm going to go to 72nd and Crown Point here. This is looking off to the north. We're sort of blocked when we're looking west, but this is straight west. So that unfortunately is not going to give us a good view through there. We'll have to catch this as it comes farther to the northeast. And downtown Omaha, that's what Luke was talking about. It's warm, partly sunny here, and that's fuel for these thunderstorms. And the wind is blowing in from the east. So our current tornado warning is with this cell here right over northwest Douglas County. But so far we've been tracking that. Doesn't look like anything. They dropped the warning up here into Washington County. But new storms organizing. Luke, you were mentioning severe thunderstorm warning, Cass County, Sarpy County, southeast Douglas. This is probably our new threat. We'll keep on watching that northwest Omaha area, but that doesn't look as impressive right now. And again, there is a tornado warning there, but that warning is set to expire at 1:15, and it would appear that maybe that's going to zip on by. But this cell now intensifying here in western Sarpy is our next one to watch. So let's look at the camera from Cobalt Credit Union and look to the west on it. Okay, right now that looks like it's just a normal cloud base. All right, so again, this stuff working east-northeastward here across the Omaha Metro. Luke, that must be max 2. I don't know if you can pan a little farther south for me on that. See what we got with them. Remember we had the cells down in Gage County and Johnson County coming up to the north and also northeast.
Oh, that should be max 1.
Okay, let me switch that back over here. Perfect. So here we go. Great deal. All right, there's Methodist Women's Hospital camera. And you see that lowered cloud. And that's, again, right over the hospital. And that's the thunderstorm kind of coming on in. So we're getting the wind switch through there. And that is probably going to end the threat of severe weather out in that area around Waterloo and Valleys. The storm's already passed to the east there. So it's this leading edge that we're watching. And you see on dual pole just over to the east of us there, from there. That area between Washington and Bennington is where we had the couplet that was showing up. I'm going to move that just a little bit here. So it is now right about over Newport Landing. Is where the area that was that we're kind of looking in this direction. And again, the warning is going to expire, I imagine, here. We don't see anything on the leading edge of that, but that's where it would be. And that thunderstorm continues tracking on off to the northeast. So we'll have to keep on following anytime you get a little notch like that. But farther south now, these storms intensifying rapidly right over Gretna. And if you could put this behind me, so this would be, just put max 1 behind me. Perfect. And you're seeing the thunderstorms kind of tracking. And this one really concerning. I don't know if there's any update on this, Luke, here in Odo County, but I mean, it has that sort of hook that you'd expect to see. Tornado warning expired for Douglas County and Omaha here. That's gone. But intensifying thunderstorm, Sarpy County, also here Odo County coming up into southern Cass County. So warning for this one, a warning for the cell now, southern Sarpy County, and also into our area here. Let's go with the sky cams here, and you guys have those up on that. All right, there you go.
Got a tornado warning.
2 o'clock. Odo County, just southwest of Syracuse. There you can see the camera there. That's the Methodist Women's Hospital now getting into the rain from that thunderstorm that looks like it's passed to the north. You're in southern Washington, you really want to keep close tabs on this thing as there is still the potential that it could wind up spinning back up, but we don't see it right now. Right now, our concern is if you can go max 1 behind me, that would be great. This cell right here, and if you are in Syracuse, headed directly for you, you see the hook. What's the tag on that, Luke? We're talking about this tornado warning. What are they saying from the Weather Service?
They're just saying radar indicated rotations, the hazards being the potential tornado and quarter-size hail.
Yep. Just a bad environment here where you've got rotation, spin in the atmosphere. This is the cell that has tracked by north of us. We've got one western Sarpy, and now this one in Odo, and really in a spot that it could spin up a tornado. Luke, you and I were talking about this. I mean, the atmosphere is set up, and that's why they've got that moderate risk all the way into western Iowa, where we could get not just a quick little spin up. This, if this cell gets going here, it's in an environment where you could support a longer lasting tornado. We hope that doesn't happen, but certainly a possibility in far eastern Nebraska and into southwest Iowa. So the big hail threat that moved through Fremont has now kind of come up over the top of Burt County and approaching Ottawa. All right, so there is our storm over Syracuse with a tornado warning. I'm going to widen out that and see how that hail potential looks like. It went right about over Tekamah, but has weakened a bit. And now we're going to have to start focusing on the cells to the south. And the Omaha Metro will kind of watch both of these cells, Sarpy County and then southwest of Syracuse for some potential for hail. Let's go with the velocity down here. That's concerning right here, just near South Bend, but right on the dividing line where you've got that toward away. So we'll have to watch that spot.
Yeah, Bill, we just got reports of a funnel cloud 3 miles east of Utan in Douglas County from law enforcement.
Gosh, I wonder, that's probably this cell because we're sort of zoomed in on Utan here. That would be this part of just about, not too far from our camera at the Methodist Women's Hospital. That just doesn't look right, but maybe this cell farther east. That's the hard thing, is when you're estimating where a storm is located, what you're looking at, but maybe a funnel. Right now, there's no warning in that space in southern Douglas County. But You know, that's what we're watching for at any rate. Let me go back. So that's our camera at Cobalt Credit Union looking west. So that would be kind of in the direction that you'd have been if you were in UTAN looking back the other way. And it doesn't look like there's anything apparent. That's Highway 370 going out west of Papillion there. But certainly a low cloud, and that is advancing in toward the Omaha Metro. It's tough. I mean, we're talking about little brief spin-ups possible there, and then farther south as you get down into Odo County, maybe the potential for a bigger storm here. So I'm going to advance forward again. This area right here, not currently under a warning, but UTAN law enforcement saying they thought they saw a funnel right in here. That would be near our camera at the Methodist Women's Hospital, southwestern parts of Sarpy County. Yeah, let's go down to Syracuse here because this is right about in the area. I'm going to widen this out here where we've got the tornado warning here. So Syracuse, right in the middle of Odo County, Highway 2, Highway 50 has got the rain coming on down. And there you go, look in the other direction. So that is in advance of where the area of rotation is to the southwest of Syracuse, but it's going to move through there. This is a great camera, a great view, but sort of an auto move. It pans around, shows you the areas looking from Highway 2 and Highway 50 near Syracuse here. But that's going to be a valuable one as the storm moves right up over the top of that spot. You can see rain. Maybe there's a little bit of hail too, but that's right here. There's Syracuse. That's the cell tracking up to the northeast from there. So that one will certainly be followed. And then this storm too. And we're watching over Douglas County. Severe thunderstorm warning for Sarpy County. It's the tail end right here. And that's heading up toward Papillion. Don't see anything apparent in that just yet. These are the areas where you're looking at possible rotation. There's a spot right there where you've got a pretty strong away and a little toward. That's just northeast of Gretna and about crossing into Douglas County here. So that's kind of around Tiburon golf course area here in that northeast side of Gretna and tracking into Omaha. Sharpening up a little bit. Look at that, Luke. Right here.
A little more defined.
In the severe thunderstorm warning area, but a spot that we're going to watch closely. And then hail potential. That looks like that's sort of increasing a little bit on this cell and this cell. We sort of use this for a proxy for the strength of the storms. When you see bigger hail, it means the updraft is stronger, and it means that perhaps you'll see a better chance of a tornado. Tornado warning for this cell until 2 o'clock. Syracuse, right underneath where it looks like the rotation is going to be tracking. Potential for hail. The radar estimate, maybe would be something around an inch in diameter, but you can see it right there. That is in a perfect spot to intensify. Cells are tracking now over Blair and north of Blair with smaller hail. And then this cell, Sarpy, Douglas County line, watching that one too. This is going to be our activity. Once this stuff moves by, Omaha is going to be in the clear. It's just the stuff we have right now. And then if you're in western Iowa, if you're in Pottawatomie County, Mills County, Montgomery County, Fremont, Page, this is going to be a while for you guys. This cell is kind of the start of what we're watching, this stuff developing here from Odo County and the area near Syracuse. Tornado watch, far eastern Nebraska, also Iowa. If you look at this, you can see how everything's just kind of turning a little bit. So really at the surface, a low pressure area tracking right up over Omaha right now. And then as soon as it goes by, the environment is most favorable east of that. And then really the environment decreases in its favorability right behind that. Boy, there's a nasty look from the camera at the Cobalt Credit Union. Look at that, Luke. What is that right there? A little low hanging cloud. That's that cell just to the west. There we go. West of Papillion. We were talking about that kind of moving up to the north. So this is sort of in the direction south of Gretna. Can we pan the camera just a little bit that way? Perfect. And let's tighten up a little bit right in through here. And then go ahead and pan a little more to the north here. So keep going that way on the pan. And a little bit more. And a little bit more still. Right here. It looks like there's some lift going on here. Again, that is just to the west of Papillion, the base of the cloud right here. This is western Sarpy County, just north, maybe close to Gretna there, or northeast of Gretna. So this sort of low hanging is sort of fits about where we had that area where it looked like there was a little bit of a couplet of toward and away. All right. Let me go back up through here.
And Bill?
Yep, go ahead.
Well, a lot of these areas saw storms this morning, but also saw flash flooding. Is there a concern that things could be worse this time around with all this rain coming down again?
Yeah, that's a great question, Waverly. You know, today, these are pretty fast moving. We're not going to get 2, 3, 4 inches of rain. However, since we already had 4 or 5 inches of rain, even an inch could cause some of those flood prone areas to fill up quickly. So please be careful of that. Again, this is the cell in just northwest of Papillion in sort of north central Sarpy County that we're tracking, the lowered cloud on that. And that is tracking off to the east-northeast here. I want to go ahead and get back over to our display here. And in links. So on here, this is our live reflectivity view here. So the radar's right there. Papillion's right here. We're looking at that spot just off to the north and west of there. And this is our camera in velocity mode. So here's Papillion. That's 370 and 72nd Street. So our camera is right here. And we're looking at this little couplet just off to the northwest, west-northwest of Papillion, where it sort of looks like there's a little bit of a toward. So it's the base of the clouds right through here. So this whole thing, let's just kind of scan back and forth on that if we could. Perfect. So that's the storm that is kind of into Sarpy County here. You know, we're just looking at the base. I don't see anything that looks like any kind of violent rotation, just slightly lowered clouds, but that is Papillion where there's a severe thunderstorm warning, kind of right in the middle of that, just barely west of Papillion and northwest of Papillion. Keep on panning up to the north a little bit here. Great, so this is the lowered cloud that we're looking at through there. So we'll keep watching, you know, that pretty closely here. The good news is that we're not seeing a funnel. The bad news is the position of that is right over, you know, a very populated area, La Vista, just about to move into Ralston and also over Omaha. So we'll have to just sort of keep looking at that. And you see the sweep coming by. I'll tell you when. Right there is what you're looking at. Just above, the rain is up in the cloud, and this is at the base of the cloud, a little bit of lowering. Severe thunderstorm warning, that includes Sarpy and eastern Douglas County. I'm going to get down here to Syracuse, where we still have the tornado warning. And this is, doesn't look, honestly, as impressive as it did. It really rapidly moved northeastward over the top of Syracuse and is now just northeast of Syracuse and nearing Odo, where if there is any rotation, it doesn't show up very well on our radar. You'll see the sweep come by here, but there is a tornado warning that goes until 2 o'clock. Luke, is that right? The Syracuse or the Odo County, Cass County?
I will double check real
Tornado
quick.
warning.
Yes, that is correct. 2 p.m.
Yep. So right there between Syracuse and Oto, but doesn't look that impressive. Let's do that. You know, we've got rain coming down on the Charles Schwab camera, and you know, Waverly was asking about this. You know, how much is, you know, fortunately, you know, maybe we get an inch. These are pretty small thunderstorms coming on through, but boy, there's hardly any room to spare in the patio here. I mean, I can't tell you how much water that is. It's amazing. When you go out there on a normal day and that creek is just in the very bottom, and this has completely filled this up. And of course, they channeled that, many years ago where it's so wide. This would have been a massive flood in the old mill area, but fortunately, it's within the banks, but it's close. You can see the pathway here is submerged under the bridge, and obviously not safe to be out there, but pouring down rain at the Charles Schwab camera building, Charles Schwab building, and the camera there looking off to the north. And this is kind of that road in Old Mill, and this is the West Dodge Expressway right here. But heavy rain occurring there. And in fact, I can kind of move the camera back up. And that is right under where you see between Boys Town and Irvington. That's where the camera is located. So very, very heavy rainfall occurring in that spot. The only good thing is that that is going to move out fairly quickly. I can show you on this radar display, this is just the last 3 hours of rainfall. And this is an estimate, but some of these spots are getting 4/10 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. The storm that tracked up by Fremont put down about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So that was pretty heavy. And one thing to note is that the Papio drains all the way up here from Washington County. So this water that comes up here all funnels down into branches of the Papio and then comes southward into the main stem of the Papio. So this all has to run off. This is that's just the last 3 hours. This is the last 24 hours of rainfall. And so here's Douglas County, and that camera is right about where the W in Boys Town is at. So that Charles Schwab camera is right there. But all the water that came down over the last 24 hours, that all has to drain back down into little creeks and feed into the main stem of the Papio and come southward. And of course, some of it gets into the Missouri and the Elkhorn, but a lot of what happened up in Washington County is coming down the Platte. So if there's another inch and a half of rain, that is going to keep on feeding water to come down into the Papio. So that's a big deal, getting another inch and a half of rain. Let's look at velocity. None of it is super impressive yet. Let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah, Bill, they've highlighted the National Weather Service saying there are several small circulations trying to develop over eastern Douglas and Sarpy counties that haven't been enough to really issue a tornado warning yet, but they are watching quite closely.
Yeah, that's the cameras. I suppose we shouldn't forget about those. Again, if you're down here in Syracuse, that storm is past you. If you're in Odo, it's right about on top of you now. And then if you're north of there up into southern Cass County, this is going to pass east of Avoca, east of Weeping Water, but into this area of south central Cass County. Keep monitoring. Imagine sirens are going off. That's the spot that if not anything else, large hail is probably going to track up into this area as well, but there is a tornado warning for that. Let's get back up in here into Douglas County because, again, that camera, I'm not sure if we can, I guess I can go back to it here. That's our camera. Wow, which camera are we at here? That is a camera at Cobalt Credit Union. That's fantastic. Looking right up at the base here. And unfortunately, we can't go any, I don't think, higher than that, can we? There we go. So this is the base of the cloud where, earlier it was out to the west. So we're looking for any little lowerings in there. So that's just, on the radar, you see that purple just west of Papillion and then northward. That's this stuff right here. So we're looking at the base of the cloud here to see if there is anything, if there's any, inflow. Looks like there is, and little weak areas of rotation. But so far, we're not seeing a circulation that the Weather Service says warrants a warning for a tornado. So that looking north there is sort of, this is along the line, and what I'm looking up in this direction, see the rain falling here, but the spin is what we're looking for here, and that's right over Ralston to Exarban, sort of up along this line here. So that south central Omaha proper from Ralston up to the Exarban area, and then this leading edge I'm sure our camera at, if you want to switch over to the camera at 27th and Douglas West, Douglas Tower West is going to have a great view of this also. And we'll have to pan to the west and south. And that would be great. Okay, so these are the lowered cloud bases we're looking at. That's about in the Exarban area where we're looking at our radar showing, that possible rotation. And then let's scan a little farther off to the southwest from there. So, all these things. So that line, little tiny bump right here, and then farther south along the line here, this is taking us south along 72nd down to Ralston. And from there, this is really getting closer to over Omaha here. Let's pan back up to the north here just so we're on top of this. And how about even go a little farther north just to make sure we don't see anything on the base of the cloud here, and then keep going. Right in through here. So, this is, and then rain farther north. So let's go back. This is our chance of severe weather. If we're going to see anything, it's in this cell that still is right there. Here's the Livestock Exchange Building camera. That's, again, same stuff, but right in line. Two o'clock for the Douglas County area. Look at that. Heavy rain, a little bit of a lowered cloud base right there. And that's our camera at 27th Douglas. Look at that. Look at the sheets of rain just kind of passing on through there. That's really great to be able to look at. And, you know, you're looking right at the heavy rain that's coming on down. I'll show you where that camera is located at 27th and Douglas. So the camera is right there on the leading edge of where the rain is starting to pour down.
Hey, Lady May TV, you said you changed your name from Lady Sky. Hey, what's going on? Our power keeps going on and off over here. We was just on here and then it kicked us off the internet and everything. But now the internet is back. The power is back. The lights are back on. But it's coming down really, really, really hard right now. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up one of my Ring cameras. I'm going to turn the news Bill Ramsey back on until I pull up my Ring camera so we can take a look outside the yard.
And there's the heavy rainfall right over the top of the city of Omaha, and just those areas where you got the lowered clouds, that's where you've got some lift spiraling up in, but not enough as it looks to get a funnel to develop, which is certainly good news. But this lowered cloud stuff here is what we're following right over Omaha. That rain is all the way up to the North Freeway. And now just to the west of the Kennedy Freeway, heavy rainfall. Indication of hail also right there, kind of right over Midtown Omaha. It looks like that's has passed through the Exarban area. Yep, and now crossing right about to Dundee at the moment, so 50th and Underwood, underneath where would be the indication of hail, and where we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that area. Great, there's the downtown camera, Embassy Suites downtown looking east. See the rain that's occurring over town. Let's pan it back toward the city and see if we can see anything. Keep going, raining here. And you see the rain on the camera lens, so heavy rain coming on down now there. I imagine the rain is done at Charles Schwab now. You can pull that camera back up. Oh yeah. Now I want to take this camera and pan it back that way to the east. So we're going to look at the back side of that heavy downpour over downtown Omaha. And you can see just the rain occurring here. You see the anemometer. It's got some wind blowing pretty substantially. Keep panning a little bit more to the east on that. And you can see the dark lower clouds over Omaha proper, but you know, from the backside there. So, so far, looks like we're going to come away unscathed in Omaha with just rain and a bit of hail. Tornado warning here for this cell tracking into eastern Cass County of Nebraska and also right over Omaha. So a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings, southeastern Washington County, western Pottawatomie County, eastern Douglas, including downtown Omaha, Sarpy, eastern Sarpy, so Plattsmouth, Bellevue. There's our camera at 90th and Dodge looking off to the east-southeast. And so this is the dark cloud, the heavy rain that's occurring over downtown Omaha and edging eastward into Iowa and continuing. So that's fantastic as it keeps on moving off to the east. Our best views are going to be farther to the east. I don't know if we have that camera at downtown, or maybe the camera at the airport's the best one, or looking at the airport, the Lewis and Clark Monument, looking back toward Omaha. You can see how narrow this is. I mean, the sun is shining as you get back out into West Omaha and out toward Gretna now. And this is the heavy rainfall that's occurring over Omaha proper. I-29 there, the river here. New tornado warning extension, looks like, Luke.
Yeah, for Cass, Fremont, Mills, and Odo counties. And it looks like this one goes out until 2:30 p.m. And it's still just radar indicated rotation, but also tennis ball size hail, they say, could be in there as well.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, that looked like, we were just showing that a bit ago, tracking not too far from Odo, but that's heading in the direction of Beaver Lake, which, you know, big population of homes right there are perhaps going to get hit kind of between there and Lake Wakanda, which is in the very southeast part of the county. And that area, by the way, is actually in the tornado warning. So looking at this, you've got the new tornado warning. Stop that. So we've got the latest view here. Wakanda is sort of right down here on the very edge of Cass County there. And then farther north, just to the east of Murray, is where you have Beaver Lake. So Beaver Lake is all of this stuff in here. Rock Bluff Road, Murray Road. That's where Beaver Lake is located. And it looks like that is right on the edge of the tornado warning area. But if I show up the Ville density here, that's the big hail possibly occurring there. Come back over to Omaha. It still looks like hail kind of up into north central Omaha now. Dundee heading in the direction of Florence. And you'll have to refresh me as to which camera this is. Okay, that's a good view. That's the camera at the Cobalt Credit Union, I think. Looking off to the northeast, so you can see the clouds advancing over Omaha and off to the east. So that's a good sign for Omaha proper. And honestly, Council Bluffs in a severe thunderstorm warning, as is Crescent, but we don't see anything particularly ominous in those areas where we're looking at it here. The velocity still is sort of best in this area down here around Union and just east of there, where we've got this couplet away, toward and away, loosely organized here, but that's what they've been tracking. Here's how it looks on reflectivity, which is sort of the normal mode of the radar. This hook, where the reason it shows up like that is because the air is rising, so the rain doesn't fall. That would be where you'd have that rain-free base. The heavy rain kind of wraps around where the updraft is. So if there'd be a tornado, it would be in this hooked area. Heavy rain and hail out just on the north and northwest side of that. So that potential hail occurring right around Beaver Lake, as I mentioned. Here's Murray. Here's Highway 75. That's Interstate 29. This is Fremont County. This is Mills County of Iowa. That's the Missouri River. That's right about where all that comes together. You know, that would be Cass County, Fremont County, Mills County. That's the location where you have the potential for large hail tracking into Mills County, where the tornado warning goes. Luke, how long does that tornado warning go for?
This tornado warning is out until 2:30 p.m.
Yep. You know, we looked at this for a couple of days here, and I feel, I guess, fortunate in Omaha that we are only seeing rain and some mostly smaller hail over Omaha, because there's still a lot of energy in the atmosphere, and I feel like these things are going to intensify as they come eastward. And new tornado, a new severe thunderstorm warning, but this cell down here around Hamburg, Iowa. Let me zoom in here.
Yeah, that's out until 2:30 p.m. They're seeing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts is the main hazard there.
Right. But this also is in a spot where it has terrific shear in the atmosphere. Surface winds coming in from the east, southeast, upper level winds from the south, southwest, a lot of moisture. And this is a spot where this probably is going to rotate too. So we've got one cell that's turning here. This probably will too. And these are going to track rapidly eastward into Iowa, but this is all going to be beyond Omaha. We're going to keep on watching this stuff here into western Iowa, obviously, with the tornado potential. We got a tornado watch, and I guess how long does the tornado watch go for, Luke? That goes until this evening, I guess, or late this afternoon.
That goes till 5 p.m. And I also want to highlight, it's starting to get into that environment now, southwest Iowa, where dew points are into the 70s, and some of the temperatures, particularly in southwest Iowa, are near 80 degrees. So that's a much more favorable environment than they're coming from in eastern Nebraska.
For sure. Luke, you were talking about this on the new newscast, that you know, this stuff is developing right over Omaha, and we probably had, you know, some brief heavy rain and also some small hail. Haven't had super strong winds, but this stuff, as this goes eastward into Iowa, Red Oak over here, Clarinda, Atlantic, boy, you got to watch this so closely as the atmosphere is such that this stuff is probably going to keep on intensifying, spinning, rotating. And I imagine we'll have the potential for very strong straight line winds and possibly tornadoes here into western Iowa. That's why the Storm Prediction Center had that moderate risk, that big blob of red that initially they didn't have. Then they had it for central Iowa, and they expanded all the way back into southwest Iowa because these things are getting going, and they're in a spot where they look like they'll probably keep on get going for this area here. So as I look at that, zoom in tight here. You see that area around Murray right now, and let's look at the velocity here. Hard to say if, pretty good little spin occurring right there, toward and away, sort of right next to each other, and kind of underneath where we'd have this pronounced hook. So tornado warning for this cell, that goes until 2:30. The cell that had been until 2 o'clock, but it's already kind of moved out of this area of Odo and Cass County, and it's just far eastern Cass County, moving into primarily southern Mills County. This is going to mostly miss Glenwood. You may get hail from that. There's Glenwood, just on the outside edge of the polygon. So this is where the Weather Service sees the potential for if there's going to be a tornado. Glenwood just north of that, but possibly large hail to occur. And there is a severe thunderstorm warning for that area. And then the cell down toward Hamburg continuing to intensify. Here's that look at the hail mode. That's promising, I guess not promising for Florence. Look at that. Carter Lake, that looks like pretty big hail. Do we have any of our cameras? Do we have 72nd at Crown Point? Can we look to the east from there? When we are showing the hail potential, this is the cell that came up over Omaha, had somewhat of a lowered cloud base, didn't ever have a funnel cloud, had little weak couplets on it, but that whole area really was sort of right in through Midtown Omaha and kept on tracking away into the east here. So that is perfect. That's 72nd, and I was hoping for something kind of up into the clouds here. The other thing that keep on, panning back to the east. That's perfect. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And great. So this is the direction where there's this large hail, kind of over now east of Omaha and having tracked over Carter Lake and into Crescent, Iowa. We're on the backside, but the air really is going to cool off. I don't know, Luke, if you can give us an idea of the temperatures that we have on backside of this. Great Nehaka picture of hail that came in. There's a quarter, and that is big. That's 2-inch plus, so egg, plum-sized hail, maybe even. And that's with the cell that's down, that came through Syracuse and Odo and is near the Beaver Lake area right now in Cass County. Large hail occurring with that. Appreciate that, Katie. So there's the quarter. So we say quarter for 1 inch. That's 1 inch in diameter. This stuff, 1.5 to 2 inches in diameter. That's certainly causing damage. All right, so our camera was right here. We were trying to look east, but this is where probably there's hail right now, about over Crescent, and the radar was showing the best concentration pushing into Pottawatomie County, just north of Council Bluffs. I wonder what our camera at the Lewis and Clark Monument looks like, Carly, in the heavy rain now, but looking back toward Omaha from there. So already kind of passed through there with the heavy rainfall. And once we get a west-northwest wind, temperatures are going to cool off, and we're done as far as the potential for severe weather. This is how much rain has come down today. And on that, a few spots in Omaha, 0.6, as much as 0.8, but a lot of spots in the blue here are less than 0.5 inch. And so we were hopeful we wouldn't have that much rain from these thunderstorms, and doesn't look like we did. But unfortunately, when you had as much as we did already, you're going to have runoff problems like we do. All right, so we've got one tornado warning and a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings out here. And Luke, we're going to look at the velocity and then the SRV on these things here. So this is western Iowa, the very northwest corner of Fremont County, away toward, this is sort of between Burr Oak and Bartlett. Tabor's just off to the east. And if you look at what we call the reflectivity, there's Tabor. This would be the hook. So this is where there would be some spin if there was anything, right over I-29, Bartlett, just up into the southern part of Mills County, where Burr Oak shows up. I'm going to zoom in. I'm not sure that there's a town there. Looks like a little bit of a road right along Painter Road and Parish Road. But that area, you know, kind of right in the spot where we've got this hook. And if there's going to be any hail that's occurring, that's right over that area as well. And moving into western Iowa. All right. Boy, I'm thankful that the Omaha Metro didn't see anything worse than we did. Still over Council Bluffs with rain. I imagine there's still quite a bit of cloud to ground lightning occurring, as there is. And a lot of times the heaviest concentration of lightning tells you about the intensification maybe of a storm. So this is what came through Omaha now and is tracking up here into northwestern Pottawatomie County, where last night, late midnight and beyond, we had looked like some brief spin-up tornadoes. So we were watching that stuff really closely here. And right now, it's just winds going away from the radar, which is a good sign. So strong thunderstorms, but doesn't appear to be tornado-producing thunderstorms. And then, of course, the area, if there is a tornado, we've got a tornado warning between Bartlett and south of Pacific Junction.
Hey, Bill, and one more
Yep.
thing. The Storm Prediction Center just released, and this is for western Iowa all the way towards central Iowa, a PDS, which means particular dangerous situation for strong thunderstorms that could produce tornadoes. And that started at 1:10 p.m. and it's going to last until 9 p.m. tonight. And for us, those counties, it's getting closer towards Creston, the far eastern side of our viewing area in western Iowa. So the storms are not there yet, but the Storm Prediction Center is definitely anticipating them to strengthen really the further they get east in probably the next hour or two.
Right, Luke. So is that a thunderstorm watch or a tornado watch for that area?
So the Storm Prediction Center hasn't highlighted either of those for
Okay.
this is just it just says particular dangerous situation
Gotcha.
inside a box, but I believe they have issued a tornado watch for a similar area there.
Okay. So that's central Iowa. So just the far easternmost counties in our viewing area. But the idea, Luke, you're right, that these storms are going to intensify further as they come eastward. Now you're looking southeast of us here.
Hey, Informer Sugar, what's up, Chris? I was just about to end the video because it looks like our neck of the woods is out of the severe danger warning. So our tornado warnings have went off about, I want to say maybe an hour and 15 minutes ago. And shoot, I hurried up and got off that computer from working and went to the basement, grabbed a computer, grabbed some candles, some lighters, some flashlights, some water, and went to the basement. But we did get a lot of rain. I don't know if you saw the videos I posted last night and this morning, Grish, but yeah, my son was stuck in a flooded area. Like some streets had flooded by his job and his car got stuck. So I had to go get him. We didn't get home till about 3:30, but I filmed it all and, recorded the footage and everything all the way home, following the tow truck and everything. But yeah, and I ain't had no sleep. Then I had to clock in at 7 this morning and had like 2 hours of sleep. And then while I was working about an hour and a half ago, our supervisor told us, Run for cover. We are in a tornado warning. So yeah, but I think that's pretty much over in our neck of the woods. They got some warnings still going on closer to the Iowa, Pottawatomie County, those areas. But for now, it seems like we're safe. So I gotta check to see if they need us to clock back in now. I don't know how long we're supposed to be clocked out because everybody don't live in the same area because we all work from home. So some people stay far away, like Lincoln, Lancaster County, Pottawatomie County, Sarpy County. It's people who work all over in the Midwest. But yeah, so I'll probably check in with my supervisor and see what's up. But for the people in my neck of the woods, it's supposed to be more rain, more thunderstorms throughout the day, throughout the night. So please be careful. I posted some flood videos this morning, some footage that people have sent me, videos and pictures that people have sent me this morning on Facebook. So I've been posting those throughout the day. But please be careful. Stay away from those floods. Don't try to even think you can make it through, even if you are in a truck. We saw those floods earlier today, and it was trucks in there. It was Jeeps in there. I mean, man, the waters be really high. And you think you can go travel through there because you got a 4-wheel drive, you're in an SUV or a truck or something. And we saw all those cars that was just stranded. And then people sitting on top of their cars. Matter of fact, let me show y'all this video real quick. Matter of fact, let's see, where was it? There is a video that I saw earlier. Let me see. Then the internet is just tripping. Oh my God, the power keeps going on and off. Where is that video? Okay, I think I'm almost there. There's a video that I saw earlier. People, you know how it is when it storms and stuff like that. People all over the place be posting videos. And somebody had posted a video of somebody who was stranded in their car. And they were sitting on top of their vehicle. And it's not funny, but it was funny. My son said that last night when I had went to assist him when his car was stuck in the water. He was like, Mom, if it would have the car would have started moving, he said, I would have jumped on top of my car and I would just sat on top of my car till somebody came and helped me. I was like, boy, you better floating down the Missouri River. Shoot. I hope you can still swim. But why can't I find this video? It's like too many. Let me see. But how you doing, Chris? I hope the weather where you are is a lot better than what we dealing with. We've been dealing with bad weather for the last 3-4 weeks, but it is the Midwest. We deal with those tornadoes, storms, snow, ice. We get everything. The only thing we don't get is hurricanes. That's the only thing we don't get. I don't know what I would prefer. Hurricane, tornado. I'm not going to keep looking for this video because it's too many videos and I'm going through them and I can't figure out which one it is. I want to find it. Let's see, is this it? No. Oh, that's a pretty good one. Oh my God, that's so much water. Is this it? Nope, that's not it either. This is the Bennington River. Ooh, a lot of people is posting videos of their basements. A lot of people's basements are flooded. Is this the one? Oh, that's just a picture. Oh my God. Ooh, the people who got creeks like right behind their houses. Man. Child, I'm not about to keep going through all these videos. But yeah, there was a video I wanted to post. Maybe I'll post it later when I find it. But yeah, somebody had posted a video and was somebody sitting on top of their car and they just looked unfazed and they looked unbothered. And I was like, how can you sit there that calm on top of your car with waters raging around you and just sitting on the hood of your car, just sitting there waiting for help, like all calm and stuff? I would have been like panicking, like somebody come get me, please. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I found it. Oh, it was a picture. I thought it was a video. Hold on. Let me get this picture. It was a picture. I could have sworn it was a video. No wonder I couldn't find it. Oh God. Let me okay, I have to save it to my computer first. Okay, let me share this video. I mean this there I go again, saying video. Let me show this picture. I'll take a sip of water. That was good. Okay, here's this picture, y'all. I'm telling you, this person on this car this morning, they look too calm. It couldn't have been me. I would have been panicking. Child, look. Let me spread it out. Y'all see this? See? This what I'm talking about. When I went to get my son from where his car was stranded in the water early this morning, around like 12:31 a.m., I almost went into the water. And I said, no. And I got an SUV. And I was like, nope, I'm not doing it because he's already stuck. He needs a ride home. It's 1-something in the morning. I'm not even about to chance it and risk both of us being stranded down there. Then we both got to call somebody else. But yeah, that lady, she's sitting there. She just looks so calm. Let me blow it up. Look at them pulling the car out with a rope or chains or whatever they got. And she's just sitting on top of her car with her umbrella. They did give her a life jacket. Maybe that's why she feels so calm, because she's like, I got a life jacket. If I fall off this car to the water, I should be okay. But so far, you guys, I haven't heard about anybody losing their lives. I heard a lot of people, lost belongings, lost material things, houses flooded, apartment buildings flooded, cars flooded. Even my son, his car was stuck in the water and it won't start. The lights came on and everything, but yeah, we have to get it towed last night. And his mechanic, one of our mechanics, he said he can't stop by till tomorrow. It's a lot of people who was stranded all over the city. So it's a lot of people sitting around waiting on tow trucks. Man, I thought we'd never get home last night. We fell asleep. The cop was almost asleep. We in our car, my son in my SUV with me, and we dozing off, trying to stay awake, waiting on the tow truck driver. Then the cop, who was parked a little bit ahead of us behind my son's car, somebody would run into it or hit it. He was in there dozing off in his truck. I'm like, it took forever for the tow truck company to come. And then they finally got there. And I was like so anxious to get home. It took like another hour. It took them seemed like maybe 20 minutes maybe to put it on the thing. And then we had to drive home and we followed them home. And then once they got home, it took 20, 25 more minutes to get off the thing. Like when I tell you, about time that man left our house, and he sent me my receipt because it cost $140 to tow it to the house. And he sent me my receipt, and then we walked in the house. By the time I got into bed, it was almost 4:00 in the morning, and I had to get up at 7. I was like, the devil is a lie. But anyway, let me remove this off the screen. People in my neck of the woods, again, be safe. We got more storms coming. There are still tornado warnings out there in certain areas and certain counties, so please be safe. If you hear them sirens, head for cover, head to the basement if you got a basement. If you're out there driving, head to somewhere safe. Do not go through those waters. We saw too many people stranded in the water, and it's not enough rescue people to go around. To, you know, some people just sitting there waiting, like y'all just saw that lady sitting there on top of that car. But anyway, y'all, like and share the video, subscribe to the Hood Table if you haven't already. Feel free to cash app $, the Hood Table 402 if you want to donate to the commentary. And as always, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood. I'm out.